It's apparent when you look at your pieces, just having got a chance to browse through your store many, many times when I work 2 doors down. Your pieces are spectacular, and I think that you can see that kind of craftsmanship in them that sets it apart.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the difference. The piece, really an individual puts their heart into it and their ability into it, and it shows, before they let go of it. In fact, a lot of times it's hard to get them to let go of it. We're all guilty of that as jewelers. We don't really want to let it go.
But it's really a good idea to occasionally let them go, which leads me to my next question. You decided to open a store, which is really, in essence, letting it go constantly. Yeah. How did you make that leap from being, a jeweler designer to a business owner and actually running a business?
Well, the apprenticeship was basically over, and it was time. I mean, that was kind of what the training was for, either to go to work for another store and be paid, or start your own. And I had a friend, a man who was retiring, that had a lot of confidence in me, and trusted me with his retirement and offered me to buy his store. He actually offered it to me, and about a year later, then I bought it, and it all worked out. His retirement went well, and we had our first store, and then I bought the second store about 3 years later.
Where was your first store?
In Aptos. We still have a store in Aptos.
That same store you still have?
That's kind of our first store, and then Carmel was the second store, although my training was in Carmel. But again, kind of as an agreement to the man who trained me, he didn't want me to open in Carmel and be sort of a competitor or what have you. So kind of an agreement was that I left town, and then after I had my first store, he didn't have a problem with the second store. So yeah, it all worked out. But it going from being a goldsmith to being a business owner is a different thing. For the first 5 or 7 years, I did a lot of the bench work myself, and now with the running of the business and having other jewelers under me, I just do the designing and the acquiring of the stones and putting together the designs and showing my men what to build for me. And I do a lot of taking apart of things to get them ready for the process and things like that. So there isn't so much time for me working on the bench anymore. But,
so you have the 2 stores now. Do you have any other stores that you've, in your mind, thought you might want to open in different locations, or are you really just kind of comfortable right where you're at?
No, we have plans for a 3rd store that I've been working on now for a couple of years, and it looks like it may happen in the next year.
Oh, terrific.
So it'll add another one to us. I have 2 daughters, so I don't know why I need another store, but
so they can each manage one, and you can manage one as well. You spread that around.
Yeah, they're not showing much interest.
They're going to go back to dairy farming, you see. It's going to be a throwback. It's going to come back to haunt you.
Yeah, maybe.
How long does it take for you, just on average, and I'm sure it's all very unique, but to make a piece of jewelry?
These days, our designs have gotten so intricate. Again, throwing back to old-style designs, we're doing designs that are 100 years old, and with the same techniques and the same style of things, maybe higher quality cutting and so forth, but designs that really are 100 years old and very intricate, micro-pave, multiple stones, the smallest diamonds you've ever seen we're using, like they did 100 years ago. And these pieces are taking, a single person working on it full-time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month to build a ring. Every day, the same piece. So that's a lot of labor for a piece, which back in the 80s, if a person worked on a ring for more than 2 or 3 hours, that was a lot. I mean, design was very simple and very clean and tailored. But now it's a lot of our pieces are very intricate. And which is exciting because the public is enjoying that.
What is the most exciting piece of jewelry you've ever made?
You like that question?
I'm just saying, I'm a little curious. Not to say you may want to loan it out, but what's the most exciting one you've ever done?
Oh, I had a customer come in January and discuss with me about building a piece for the following Christmas, and it was a very exciting piece of jewelry. It led me to New York and to Geneva to find the stones to build the piece, and it took the whole year to build it, and it was a very good client. It was very exciting.
And they loved it?
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Would you recommend in this day and age that someone enter into jewelry making as a career, become a goldsmith? Is it something you would encourage?
Yeah, I really would, and it surprises me that there aren't more people that take to it. I mean, with Carmel, just look at 35 jewelers and great stores all around. If you were walking around looking for a career and put your head inside of a jewelry store, why wouldn't you say, hey, this looks like it could be fun? And there's a lot of facets to it. You know, you weren't going to just be necessarily just be a retailer, or just be a goldsmith, or to just be a stone cutter or a dealer. There's a lot of different parts that you can do, and travel anywhere in the world. It's an international language, and women love it. You know,
yeah, they do. Before we wrap up here, this flu, because it was so interesting, I'm going to make you stay here another 15 minutes and talk to me more about jewelry. But the location of your Carmel store, just so that everybody's exactly aware of where to go, it's on the corner of
San Carlos and 5th. It's been there since 1960.
Okay.
Right up by the
And they
Hogs
can
Breath.
stop by. You're open 7 days a week? Or
6
you do
days a week.
6 days a week? Which day are you closed?
Sunday.
On Sunday. So it's the perfect thing to do this weekend for Mother's Day. Just a little thought for someone who hasn't picked up the final gift, and I think Mark can make you very happy. So thank you very much for joining us for Your Town radio and television program, and we'll be back, with me anyway, next month, second Thursday of the month.
Thank you for being with us this afternoon on the Your Town radio and television program on historic AM 1240 KNRY and AMPS Access Monterey Peninsula Cable Channel 24. If you have any thoughts or ideas about the Your Town radio and television program, please give us a call at 831-899-2600. That's 899-2600. Or send us an email to yourtown@montereyradio.com. The Your Town radio and television program was created and developed by MontereyRadio.com.